Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Transport Fever 2, where in the previous episode we started a new game on a small map with a 1x2 form factor that has placed 4 towns on the map as well as several industries, and also in that episode we went ahead and placed some bus routes in the 4 towns that we have, as well as a boat going between Earl Shilton over to Congleton, and then finally we placed some... are they making money? They might be. We placed some, I guess, trucks, for the lack of a better term. It's goods vehicles, rather. Goods going from the farm over to the processing plant, back over to here. And that means that if we look at the line manager, we are now making a bit of money. And over on the left-hand side where it says earnings, we are still in the negative, and it's still about $1 million in negatives. But it's better than the 2.3 that we finished off with last episode. So we've got 20,000 positive in the ES bus. We have 23,000 in the SE bus. We can see that the money from the boat has went from a mere minus 80 grand to only minus 6, and this is only the first trip there and back. It took the entire episode to do that, so the next one should be in profit. The EL bus and the CT bus are still negative, and also the ES food as well is technically in negative, although it's just really performing the last sort of set of deliveries here. You can see it's actually coming in here, so they're dropping off the food. We check that actually. It doesn't say supply. There's no bread. Oh, it probably won't be supplied because none of these will have... Oh no, some of them have bread now, but some of the other ones won't have. Oh, some of them do have bread. Hang on. No, yeah, we go. It's working now. I think it was just because, like, that was the first one. The first one to drop off wouldn't have picked up any bread because it wouldn't have been produced. But it is now being produced. There is some supply, which means... that is in positive, and actually a nice positive, 20 grand. SE bus is up to 26, ES bus is up to 21, and then you see the boats and the other 2 bus lanes are almost no negative at all to speak of. So that is really, really good. In fact, from the left-hand side where it says earnings, we are almost in the positive. I have speed up to max speed because why not? We want to get this boat from one place to another because we plan on spending some money, probably putting in a railway line from these 2 towns. But let's see. We have 33 people at the dock here, and on the boat we have 37. So when this docks up, I expect that boat there to be very positive. Let's have a look. And 106,000 generic units of currency. That is why I like these boats and tend to put them in very early, because that's a lot of passengers and it only gets better. So, excellent, we are now in positive money. Let's see about building a route from Congleton over to Elland. So we're going to do some training. So we're going to go over to the rail stuff here. You see we've got tracks there and then buildings. In terms of buildings, we want a terminus, I believe. You've got a passenger station... passenger terminus station, so we don't want 160 meters long. 120 will be fine for the size of this town. With only 1 length of track, that should be totally acceptable, although do we want to change that up? I'm looking around to see what else we may want to transport on this route, and it would be freight if anything, but we don't have... there's nothing around that we want to transport with freight, and secondly, it's split into passenger and cargo, so we can only have one or the other. Okay, so we're going to place this station in. We will rotate it round so the street connection is on the left-hand side, so we'll do that. We'll hold shift and then just give it a wee nudge just to that side, and that should go in nicely. Oh, see... Okay, so as we were doing this, the expansion came and it placed a brickworks there by the look of it, or something that requires that. If this was in here, you can see it's not going to serve a lot of the town. Would it be better there? It would be better there. I'm going to place it there. Right, so that's now in. First train station, that's an achievement. Well, as I did that in a previous video, I don't know why I've just got the achievement again, but I'm not going to question it. I'll just seethe. Anyway, let's place this in here. The problem with that is the gradient. Look at the grade, because it's a huge downhill bit. That's going to be a problem, I think. So maybe in here. That's even worse. That's even worse. So maybe there. That's actually a bit better. So we'll place it in here, and we do actually have a bus station just opposite. Oh, it's not a station actually. It's just a bus shelter. There. Okay, so that is now in. We will, I think, add some more bus routes in. It goes in yellow there. Does that mean it's like it's set for that? That might be what it means. There we go. So, altering the line. CT. We want to add it in after number 4. Let's see if this works. It does. That's fine. Yeah, instead of having to delete them all. So that's now working. Over to here. I'm happy about that. And this is going to be after... This is bus. It's going to be after Church Street. There we go. So that's now added in. Excellent. In terms of money, it's still in the negatives, but we can see that we now have, out of all of our lanes, our lines rather, we have a total of 6 lines, and 4 of them are in profit. 10 grand, 24, 42, and 28, plus and minus the usual fluctuations, you understand. The EL bus is still in negatives, and the CT bus is still in negatives, but they were the ones that we placed last because... Yeah, we built that one first, then that one, and then the other stuff as well. So that's actually not too much of a problem. And where is the ferry? The ferry is coming along. It's still not making a massive amount of money. Let's have a quick look at that. Finances. See, the income is great there. That's pretty good. And also, it's got 62 people on there. And 69 people waiting here. Bear in mind that the ship's capacity is 70. So we're going to hit the ship capacity. And... Ho, yes. 206. That's what we like to see. And then that's heading off now. We may even need to put in another boat. We might have to. Is it worth it? Putting another boat in. 31 people there. 6 there. That's maxed out. Possibly. Possibly. We'll get the rail network up and running first. So, in terms of that, we'll go over to railing. Tracks, and we'll start placing some track. And we need to go over to there. Gentle uphill, which we totally expected. We're probably going to go across here and then that way. So I'm building it in sections. Obviously costing a bit of money, but hopefully it'll all come good in the end. This is going to be a fairly steep gradient. If we did that, it's actually... No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Level grade. So just gentle cuts there. And I'm actually going a little bit to the left, because I'll have to go up and then curve round. This is where we have the problem with it. Yeah, bridge is required. Wow. Too much slope. That is fairly shocking. Right, so we can't do that. We're going to have to delete a couple of sections of track. Try that again. And it will go in, but it's a fairly big bridge. So you can either say, build it up with, you can either bridge it, which is 328,000, or no bridge, which basically means put this massive embankment in. Which the embankment looks okay, but the bridge is cheaper. But I don't like it. See that there when it just stops and goes to that? I don't like it. That makes more sense to me. Well, aesthetically, that's more pleasing, I think. but it also costs 200,000 more. But we're building for the future, so hopefully it will be fine. That is now in, and I guess it's just a case of putting in the train depot, which we'll place alongside, I think. Like that. This doesn't need to be in any particular area, you understand. And that'll join up to there. Like that. And I think that looks quite nice. Yeah. We can alter the station, by the way. At the moment, there's nothing else in the station, so we could go ahead and configure it, and we can add loads of different things like platforms and such, and like add extra bits on there, cargo buildings, passenger buildings, and all this does is like add extra ways to get to the railway line, but we're not going to put those in. I actually really would like that to be in, that you configure it and then you place it, but I don't know if that's a thing. In terms of money, we are on 570 grand. Again, looking at the stuff that's making money, it's the same old stuff, but I don't know why CT Bus is not making any money at all. It's interesting that it's not making any money, really. In fact, it's losing me 23 grand. The EL Bus, I think, will come good. I guess because most of the transport is from the boat. Well, because this is a bigger... I think Ellen is Elland a bigger town? 133 residents as opposed to 147. So it's not a bigger town. Earl Shilton is the biggest at 304 and settles 247 residents. So yeah, it might become a nice commuter town, this place. But we should have just had a lot of money coming in. Yeah, look at that money coming in from that one. Excellent. Let's just go and check over this side. No, I think if we have another boat, it probably wouldn't be worth it. Anyway, let's get this train in. So a line, new line, there, over to there. What we should probably do is colour code it, shouldn't we? Yes, I'm going to colour code them, I think. Right, I'll do that in a moment though. So this is CT to EL train. That's fine. So we'll have Congleton as yellow. Well, Congleton is yellow. Do I really need to change the colours? EL as... I've already got red. That's that. So EL train, that's yellow, that's brown, and then in because these are in between, we'll have the off colour. So brown for that route, yellow for that route, sort of the ochre colour in between. This one is fine because it's like red followed by the orange again, and this one it's on its own, so it's just green. Right, that's fine. I'm sure I'll forget about that later on. So we've still got 46 passengers in there, so no reason I think to add any more in there. Let's go ahead and get this line in. So we need to buy the train. This will cost a lot of cash money. So we'll go over to this train depot, buy vehicles. Now we want, obviously, one of the engines, which in itself is a $250,000. And in terms of the coaches, well, it's only going to be people. It's passengers, so it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 24 capacity. 5, 6. No, can't really afford that. It's too big. We'll buy one only. I did put before like buy 3, but it's 3 quantities of that. So no. So we'll buy one. And oh, we don't have enough money, do we? No, we don't have enough money. We are just, sadly, we are just under the amount required. Okay, I will give it a couple of seconds to change up, and then we'll see how we're getting on. 307. That's really good. That's still minus 20. That is difficult. to keep them going. I'm going to go to manage vehicles, and I want to get 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles. Sell. Yes. I don't think we need all those vehicles. We're going to cut some costs on that one. Same for this bus route. See the capacity 12 or 40. Manage vehicles. Sell. That not only gets some money back, also hopefully then it's not going to be on the huge negatives that we see it on. Because I mean, -6 like, you can handle, no problem. Having -20, no, don't like that. I don't know why there's so little transport around this town. Don't know why. I guess this one's the biggest. This one's the biggest because it's got the ferry terminal there. It's also got a lot of the supply, just more people as well. In fact, it's got over double the amount of people, which is why it's doing that. And nobody's using that bus. I'll put the train in. That might fix things. 5 vehicles. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Assign to that. Now, it's going to come along. And there it is. We'll go to normal speeds. And we can ride on it. It's disconcerting when you turn around and it's there. By the way, today's beverage is coffee. So, it is now travelling uphill. I'm going to put it onto max speed, and then we'll still look at it. See what the journey's like, really. So far, it's quite nice. Nice and scenic. Little cut there. No returning. Looks to be a fairly level grade up until this point, when it's a very, very steep uphill. For a train, anyway. For a locomotive, it's quite difficult. The embankment does look better than the viaduct, the bridges. Oh, it's losing some speed. But yeah, you can see that it's quite difficult going up here. I mean, for an engine this old, well, I say old, it's not actually old in the game. It's actually very, very new and very modern, but you know what I mean, for technology. Is that a bear? Oh, cool. I didn't realise there was stuff like that in the game. So now we've got a safari train. This is also in 1850 odd, so that bear's probably going to get shot any moment. And then we'll go in here and we'll see if anyone's waiting. There are people waiting, and you can see, a massive hotel's just sprung up. So, it seems there's not enough money. It's possible to take out a loan. Yes, it is. We've got 9 people on the train and more people getting off here. Now, hopefully this train going back and forward, well, that's going to get some speed up. 40. Yeah, we probably need a brake van on that. Yes, so now that we've got a train going from Elland over to Congleton, I'm hoping that that's going to facilitate more people going from one place to the other. I'm hoping that is the case. There's 7 people already waiting there. Also, what I've noticed there's also people waiting at this bus route. So let me double check that line there, because no, it's that is now. Is that now? Yeah. See, I cut some people on these. I cut some stagecoaches on here. But look, that one's starting to have more people move around, and so is CT as well. So I'm guessing people are going from there to there. They might even then want to travel on the ferry, which is, once again, making us a lot of money. What is that? So we've got 56 people waiting there, and over here, 21. And is that a full boat? It is a full boat. I think it's time we buy another boat. I think another boat, another ferry would be worth it. The train is not making money. It's it's nearly minus 100,000, which is something we did expect. Finally, the CT bus route is now in positive, so I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if we need to alter any of this. But that is heading off there. This is the first passenger service from Congleton over to Elland. Remember, the first one was just the train going from the depot up to that location, so it's obviously going to be wasting just a lot of coal and money. And I'm hoping that this one is going to get us paid, which it should be. Although it does take quite a bit to go up there. I wonder if it simulates the weight of cargo. It's got the weight of itself, but not the weight of the 15 passengers. Although it's doing 12, and I think it did a bit faster. I think it was 17 before, so it might do. It might. We'll have to see. See, the account is still in the negatives there, and it's still going down, but I'm hoping that once this comes in, it's going to at least shave some of that off. And there's actually now people waiting there, 29 people, and that's actually more than this train can have, so it might be best to add some more onto it. Although that embankment's just going to be too much of a problem. I didn't realise just how steep that embankment was. But there's that there, it's just gone on. It's now got a full passenger set, and that's taken us to... still in the negatives, but it's not too bad. The bus routes are starting to make money in here. And we can see the ship is now headed off. There's nobody waiting at this ferry terminal, though. And there's only 66 people there, but there's 50 odd there. Now, maybe adding in this rail network has altered the shift of people getting basically transporting around. I think that's what it's probably happened there. But I will check that later on. Line manager first. I want to see about this ES food. 48 grand. That's okay. That's alright. That's a total of 10 road vehicles. Horse-drawn carriages there. Just 7 years old now. They'll go around. Yeah, see they're going back and forward. But there's loads of supply there. 104. They're maxed out. They're totally maxed out. See, it doesn't accurately display what the transport is because it moves. So that says 12 of 12 and 8 of 24. That's because they change their designation of cargo as they're going between the different areas. I think we could possibly add some more stuff in here because the supplies are good. I'm going to add... I'm going to add 10? Could do 10. Station is overloaded. Overload station, some of the waiting passengers' cargo items get lost. Station overload passengers will be negative impact on town growth. Where? I'm going to guess there. Yeah. The train. And these as well. Okay. Let me go back to what we were going to do anyway. So it's over here. Buy vehicles. 10 of those. Food route. There we go. I think that's gonna pay us. That's going in, and there's a lot of people waiting. That train station is... it's really good. But we need to send it to the depot. We need to make it longer. I'd wager double the length, actually. But I don't think we can. How long is the terminal did we make it? I think it was an 80 long. Oh, so we probably can. We probably can. How are we doing there? 63 passengers, and it's not even halfway. That one, 34 passengers, and that one full. Right, okay. Everything's making money now, which I'm very happy to state. These CT buses are still not making much money, but they are making some money, and it's worth having it in there. Be interesting to see if anyone has taken the train down from Elland to Congleton, then over and on with the ferry. And good grief, look at that. I expect this route here, the food, I expect this to go into the negatives because of what we've just done, but you never know, it might be fine. There's 70 people waiting there. Yeah, and it says that over some passages will leave because it's overloaded. Right, we need another boat. We do need another boat. Problem with that is, I don't know if you know, but boats tend to be quite expensive. The riggy is $500,000. Over $500,000. We won't be able to afford it yet, but I can take a loan out, can't I? That's just docked up. I'm going to borrow 500. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it for what we've done. I will buy the vehicle, the riggy, sign that to the ES boat route, and then max it out. The advantage of doing it there is basically the boats are almost exactly opposite now. So instead of one turning up and then another turning up, we've got it so it should hopefully they'll cross in about the middle. Not exactly. I could have waited for that to come back and then go, but I didn't think it was really worth it. But let's just see if this is a prudent investment or not. We shall see. That's a problem, that train station. That is a problem. The problem as well as this, I can't actually have them come from there and round to there. We'll see. You see the boats are steaming quite nicely. Loads of people on there. It rocks back and forward. Nice. And eventually we'll cross. Oh, there's fishies in there as well. There we go. Boats are crossing. See all the passengers on it. Nice wake of the boat behind it as well. This one looks like at normal speed as well. So it was rocking back and forward. It was very noticeable. Whereas in this one, you can tell it's rocking a little bit, but not like majorly. Okay, max speed it out. In terms of money, once again, we can see that the CT bus is still losing money, but there you are. The train, however, is making a lot of money. I'm going to send it to depot. Because I wonder what happens with the passengers on it. I think they just kick the passengers out. Looking here. No, there's no passengers by the side of the line. Right, I'm sending it back here just to add some more carriages on it. So, want to edit vehicle. $42 capacity. No. 36 capacity. How many people do we have over there? 22. Hang on a second. Right, manage vehicle. No. So on, add a box, add a coach, and add another coach. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36 capacity is probably acceptable. Do you want to add some more? Is doubling the length of that really a prudent decision? I don't think we need 48 capacity. 42 capacity is a bit better though. So let's do that. Sign it back to the route. Let's see if that does anything. It's going to be slow. It's going to be very, very slow. Checking the ferries that we've had then. 33 out of 70 and 57 out of 70. We're still waiting. Hopefully, as I said, that's going to be changing. So that's good. Residence is growing in Earl Shilton, which we expected. The residence in Congleton, sadly not. You can see that's currently flatlined, and that one's the same as well. So they're not going up. But we're going to go down to settle because we haven't checked that in a while. Residents, you can see, are on the level, not increasing nor decreasing, which is good. That's the main thing. But we do have good transport routes with the food. In fact, that's one of the most profitable there. That is our only industry as well, which is Fair enough. You can see the train is now coming up to this very steep embankment. If we click on that, we can see it is down to 20, 19, 18. I think it went to 10, didn't it, before? Good grief. So we need to get a better engine, and we need to get it now, sooner rather than later. And what's that? Hang on. Hey. Oh, Beatrice Stewart. Destination commercial building. So because I removed that, they're now using the road network. There, look at that. Interesting. Didn't expect that. But now that this is in, hopefully it'll be fine. Although I say this is in, it does 12. Although it's not too bad. Now that this is going back and forward, though, it should be a lot better. So, in terms of cargo, then that's 43. Yeah, it's starting to come good. Well, the line itself is on 2 new vehicles available: the Borsig and the Bavarian passenger car. Right. So basically, more stuff, more better. Let me check that. We'll click on that. Buy vehicle. So we have, we'll just go to Locomotive Steam here. The D1-3 and the Borsig. The difference being that there's a lot more power on that Borsig. It's only 5 kilometers an hour faster, but the tractive effort is 5 kilonewtons above, and in terms of power, kilowatts, 66 to 90, so it's going to go up that hill a lot better. Right, let's have a check of the coach. Bavarian passenger car is heavier though, but it does have 2 more people. 2-axle passenger car with open platforms on both sides. Okay, what we will probably do is upgrade that eventually. Eventually. At the moment, not going to bother because we've just bought some stuff out and I really don't want to be altering it too much. So, that's now in. That's now in. They're going back and forward. We can then, I believe, add some more stuff in somewhere. I'm actually tempted to build from here and bridge across to this food factory. Bridging across to the food factory here means that we can have the routes from there to there going into there. All it will require is a tiny extra road across there and one added depot here. Because we don't need it elsewhere, do we? We don't need another depot there, and we don't need another depot there. And yeah, that will increase the supply. Because at the moment, the reason why this is so good is because there's loads of stuff waiting there. Whereas this one, it takes 2 grain to get 1 bread. So even though we're carrying loads, we're not producing a vast amount. So I think that's what we'll do, and we'll do that next episode then. Not a bad build one here. We've got an extra ferry in there, which, as you can see, are increasing in their carrying capacity, so that is good. We've got the train in, which, looking at it, is not making any money, although it's just still struggling up that hill, and we do have 37 people waiting there with a maximum capacity of 42. That is now perfectly fine, so I expect this train to come good in about 5 seconds, and yeah, we built the whole train network, we've got more stuff in, and overall, I am quite happy so far, and I pulls up, and oh, only 27. Okay, it's not great. It's due to the gradient, but I think we should get this built, add some stuff across, get some more bridging. Well, do some bridging because we haven't done that yet, and we'll see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed. Ooh, hang on. There is also the farm there. We could add a dock in and do it that way. I will think about that one. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.